Good afternoon, Tony Dottino here, and we are at another Monday morning, and my goodness, the weeks go by so quick. It's hard to believe we're outside of New Year's Eve, but 12 days ago. In any case, I had a great chance today, or opportunity, to sit in on the Memory Institute class that's done over here at the Orlando Dr. Phillips YMCA, and watch and interact with some of the participants and family members of people who are being diagnosed with some early signs of dementia. And Catherine Hagan and Michael Dottino have put together an outstanding program that runs from 9:30 until 1:30 for people to sit there and partake in a series of different exercises. One can be any from what they've put together, starting with the question of the day, and that can be anywhere from. So, what was some of your fun activities you did during Christmas and/or New Year's during the holiday that you found were really memorable and really something that you found joy in? And what was interesting is a lot of the people talk about the fact that they got together with family and friends and their kids and people who traveled from different parts. Somebody that actually went to Brazil for a family get-together for 12 days. That was just extraordinary, and had pictures and just also bubbly about it. It's just amazing how something as simple as that could just bring such a joy and happiness. Meaning, not that you have to go to Brazil, but meaning getting together with family and friends and sharing life experiences from different ages and different life experiences that become part of a family tradition and bring people together to just have a joyous time. They go through those, so here's what people did, and that was one that stuck in my mind. And hold on a second. Right back. I'm back. That was an important call for Evelyn. You got to see me run, pick up her phone, and hand it to her. So anyway, so it was really a great time to listen to what people found the most joyous during their Christmas, New Year's, Halloween, and then coming back. Boy, they were all happy and thrilled to be coming back into the workshop. And so they had a couple-week break to go out and spend the time with family, but what they were expressing is they found that there were family and friends that are in this workshop that they do 2 days a week on Mondays and Wednesdays from 9:30 until 1:30. So another activity they do are mental exercises. They get a chance to go through a series of mental exercises. So today there was an exercise that they enjoyed where you had a list of items and you had to put them into either a closet or you had to put them in a refrigerator, or you had to identify them as being part of a science experiment. And so they had the chance to go through these 25 objects or things and had to sort them out and put them into different buckets. And they enjoyed that exercise. They found that it was challenging enough to be able to go back and look at a list of 25 things and go through how to prioritize or sort them out and put them in different places. And those exercises are always fun. It's a work page that they get. And it's got various capacities of embarking on touching different parts of cortical skills and modalities of thought in the human brain. So it's the cognitive functioning that it really touches and gets people have to think about spatial and prioritizing and order and a discipline. So that is extremely helpful for them as well, in that it engages multiple areas of their brain as well as the organization of that for retention, recall, and then being able to communicate it. So that was fun. Then, of course, there's always a session where they leave the classroom and they go off to a gym facility and they do 30 minutes of exercise. And that is just, Catherine does a phenomenal job at leading them not into let's do push-ups and let's go get 15-pound dumbbells or things, but that they're moving. There's a lot of movement in it, and there's a lot of coordination in the movement. There's music that's playing in it, so there's a rhythm and there's a beat to it, and then there's a sequencing, and then you're following and listening to the instructor, Catherine in this case, follow the order, and this as you observe the participants in the workshop go through that exercise for 30 minutes. It brings a life to them. It just brings a joy and an energy to them that when you see them walking down the hall to get to the exercise room at the beginning of it, and then you see them coming back from that room, if you just took a video of just their pace and their energy levels as they walk towards the room versus when they're finished and they walk back. Now, one would normally think that an exercise room would leave you exhausted and you'd kind of huffing. Their pace is quicker, their bodies are standing, their structure is higher. What a difference that Catherine makes in there. And as I observe, at least I made notes of watching people come back and forth, how they walk into the room, how they leave the room and walk back into their workshop office space. It just amazes me at what 30 minutes of what most people might walk and say, oh my goodness, I'm exhausted after this 30 minutes, that most people would respond that way and be surprised to see a group of people dealing with cognitive impairment really find that the exercise gives them a jolt, it gives them a bit of adrenaline, and they walk back out of that a little bit more peppy, a little bit more alert. And the only difference, challenge that I found with that is in the past, they used to come back from that and then go through some of their cognitive exercises and mental challenges, which is another piece of the program, except they now changed the schedule in that particular room, so they come back and they go right to lunch. And so now exercise is not, let's come back and test our brain. Now exercise comes back and let's have lunch. And that's for 30 minutes. And that's always interesting because now people are alive and they're joyous and they're looking to talk and they communicate. So now you get some social interaction. So I'm not sure if I like that change in sequence or not until sometimes I sit at the table and just listen to the conversations, and people now coming back from exercise tend to be more open and wanting to have dialogue and they're more talkative. And so what we do know is social interaction and not feeling isolated are critical things in cognitive function that keep us going. And so they then get to have a little bit of time for lunch and the socializing, and then they get up and they do a ball toss. And Catherine has these different sized balls, and a beach ball, or it could be a small little soccer ball, or something to pass around in a circle. So they now are done, lunch tables are cleared, we now sit around the table. We're off from sitting around the table talking. Now we're throwing a ball to one another in a circle. And what fun they get. Again, Catherine's got music going all the time, so the power of music and what it does to people. And then, of course, music going on, and they're throwing the ball, and they're laughing, and they're playing, and who am I going to throw the ball to? So there's some cognitive disciplining there. Who did I throw it to last? Who threw it to me? It's amazing how some of these pieces that Michael and Catherine have put together, how they fit into making such a difference in the people's lives that are part of the workshop. After 30 minutes of the ball toss, they have one more hour of mental exercise where they have to use their memory, where they have to use prioritization, where they have to do socialization. And so it's a great closing half hour that really brings all of the activities from the day together in a nice, neat package. And my goodness, the time seems to fly by so quickly, and their caregivers, the people that bring them there, just say they just love this class. It just gives them a life and an expectation of going on and a purpose to continue on with their lives. And so as I leave that room and I come back home and do my live with Tony, I'm energized, just looking and seeing the difference that Michael and Catherine make in the lives of people who in most cases feel like they've been left out. And the only sadness that I have is we don't need to wait until we have early dementia or some mental impairment to do the activities that Michael and Catherine have put into this workshop. Maybe it can be a little bit more challenging, maybe it can be up-leveled a little bit, but by golly, they're the fundamentals in terms of social interaction, physical exercise, mental challenges, memory retention and recall, fundamentals for lives at any age. And that's what we keep promoting. We'll keep trying to bring this forward, and I think they're writing a great storybook and a great science study on the impact of engaging people in at least 6 of the key factors that make a difference in our long-term cognitive fitness. Have a great afternoon, and we'll see you back here on Wednesday. I have a feeling that's going to get here faster than any of us can realize, but we're in the middle of January pretty soon.